Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Avatar Wolf, and we have two of our last chess games actually completed tonight here on New Year's Eve. So we're gonna have to go and talk about them. And what better way to talk about games than let's go through the first game that finished up, which was RWP Ryan Potter taking on Sea Crusher 1. This was a game that I think is a lot of people are gonna learn off of as well. Um, I got a lot of stuff to say about these games here, so let's just get started here and let's get to the chessboard here and let's get it up. So we got Potter as the black pieces, we got Crusher as the white. Let's start off with the opening moves. Crusher goes e4, which is not a bad move, and Potter goes h5. Now, here's the thing about h5. This doesn't really help you in the long run going up with your pawn in the back rank and the end rank like this. The reason a lot of players will go e5 or d5 or e4 or d4 or even e5 and d5 is because it opens up a lot more on your board. Like, you can get the bishops out. I mean, like, you can't really get your bishops out when you're moving up your pawns right here. I mean, maybe you can get your rook out early, but besides that, I mean, rooks are usually known as, like, the last defense in a way when you actually have them out there. That's why you don't want them to be, like, out too soon. But you want to get your knights out, you want to get your bishops out, and h5 really doesn't help you with that situation there, and that's why, right here you can see the Ela bar is more an advantage for Crusher, because Crusher has more development here. He can get this queen out early if you really want to, and take this pawn, which is not a good idea, because the rook will take it, but you guys get my point. Like, the queen can get out, whereas Potter's queen can't get out, and, like, you know, the bishop can't really get out, so yeah. b5, ping the pawn to the king, and I said this before in other games, but I don't think this is a good idea to do this early. I like it when the knight's out there and this pawn's already up, but hey, Crusher's going for it early. Cool. a5. Again, not really helping your development here by getting your pieces out here. Crusher goes and puts the queen out early on e2. And there is actual development here. Now, Potter can actually get the bishop out now, which is a good strategy here. It looks like you're just making a line of pawns, to be honest with you. Like, pawn, pawn, pawn. At least he's, like, getting pawn. At least he got his bishop out. Now he can get his bishop out if he really needs to. Queen goes to e3, and this is a case of where you're using your queen too much. Like your queen is already out. Why not try and develop more pieces? Like, maybe push a pawn up, get your knights out. I mean, right now, that's a free pawn if you really want to take it. You can get your knight out instead and just attack it with the knight instead of getting your queen out really early, but we'll progress through the game. h6 defends the pawn. That's actually a really decent move by Potter. He actually defends the pawn at least. Not letting the pawn get taken, which is good. f3 for the knight. Not a bad move. I would have did it earlier and then maybe put the queen up there. It's obvious he wants to go and attack the pawn. However, here's the thing. You're going to be losing either way, because you can't take this if he pushes up like this. And he can take the horse. He can either get the queen or the horse if you don't move that queen out of the way. So you're losing a horse for nothing at this point. And that's advantage for Potter. And that's exactly what Potter did, is move the pawn up, which is good. That's how you defeat horses, guys. Like, if you use your horse right away in the opening and you're not having it defended, like, just push your pawn up. Like, I see so many times where, let's just go back here, where someone will do this and this. Like, that's gold. Just keep doing that. Just attack with the pawn. Who cares if you're losing the pawn? I mean, you know, Crusher moves the horse out of the way, and Potter takes the queen. And just like that, this game went from Potter not really getting development. I mean, he still doesn't have development in this game, but he has the opponent's best piece. And Potter right now is winning this game. Takes the bishop early. Potter moves the king. Now, honestly, what you want to do here is you want to get some development here and castle. Now, I wouldn't castle on that side because you already moved the pawns up, but, like, this at least structure right here is not that bad, so you probably want to castle on the other side. But I don't know if he knows what castling is, but yeah, like, moving the king like that, you're losing your chance of castle, and castling is kind of important in this game sometimes for defense. So yeah, b3, moving the pawns up. Now, I don't mind this move actually, because here's the thing: you're attacking these pawns here, and, like, you got the rook kind of guarding this pawn as well. I mean, this is not a bad strategy by Potter, just moving the pawns up, putting some attack on this defense. And honestly, if Crusher castles over here, this is a bad thing for Crusher. He needs to get some development out here. Both players not really having development. Now, of course, you want to get like these back pieces out here as well. Like you need to get them out sooner or later. Crusher moves up. There's the horse on the swallow side. Let's just say I went on great lengths about the horse being on this side on some of the review videos, but Crusher gets a knight out. Potter gets some pressure on this pawn here. Okay. I'm gonna guess he's gonna move the pawn up, which could be dangerous because here's the thing: if he takes, I mean, wait, like let's just say he takes with this, for example. I mean, you open up your horse right here, but at the same time, it's like you're kind of getting a good weakness here on this side of the board if you actually like go with it. But no, Potter goes up with the b6 pawn instead. D1 by Crusher, going in for this diagonal. Like, yes, this diagonal's open for Crusher, but it doesn't really help him that much right now because there is, like, you know, queen right there. H6. And the whole game has just shifted because if you take this, you're in a bad situation here, and you're basically in a check where you're going to be losing your bishops anyways, and if you want to take that, you're losing your queen as well. Crusher does not take advantage of it, though. He moves his horse out of the way instead of just taking it with his horse. Like I just said, even if he takes this right here, you know what happens? Wide opens the queen, and that's actually a check. So, yeah. Crusher moving his horse out of the way, he goes back into defense. Crusher loses a lot of advantage right there. Potter pushes the rook up 1. Crusher moves the rook onto f1, which honestly, okay, I don't know what it really does. I mean, now if this happens, you're kind of like opening the diagonal for Potter if he really wants to, or the file for Potter if he really wants to attack it. Potter pushes the rook up, and this attacks the rook. However, attacks the bishop, but the bishop is guarded by the pawn. So let's see what Potter decides to do here. Crusher with a nice move here, actually attacking the rook, and Potter says, "Go ahead." Now the key for this, I mean, the key right here is just to go right here and make it where you can actually get a spot. But you can see right here that it doesn't help you that much because you're just going to lose a knight as well. And you're just losing too much material, and you really can't stop this path pawn if Crusher decides to push this into the side or put this down, like get this pawn taken. Potter moves the horse in though, which according to the engine is actually a better idea. Crusher moving the pawn up. Potter has more of the advantage again. Take by Potter. Okay. Crusher moving 1 down. Probably going for an attack on this diagonal to this pawn here. It helps, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. He's going for this instead. That actually is going to be a lot stronger situation if Potter lets him do it. But at the same time, I don't know. Oh. You kind of just put the horse home for no reason here. And you could have just did something like this to defend the pawn. If you really wanted to defend it. However, that horse could have went in and took it, but, I mean, there's multiple ways to defend this pawn. You could just push this up 1, and it would have been different as well. I know the engine says that's bad. What's the engine want me to do here? They want you to move e6, so defend diagonally that way instead. Okay, whatever. But you get the point. Crusher's threatening this. b6, Crusher goes in with the knight. The elo goes all the way down. Potter takes the pawn. Elo goes back up in Crusher's favor. Crusher goes in with the check. Oh, but Potter says, no, I'm not dead yet. Pawn moves up. Potter has the advantage. Mate in 8 right now. If Crusher can see it, he takes the pawn. We're back down. And plus it defends this from actually like here's the thing. If you're Potter here in this situation, you move up. You really move up because here's the thing. You're putting so much aggression here on this man right here, forcing him to actually move out of the way and do this, that, and the other. They're saying that if you actually do take it or F2 with the rook, you're actually in a better spot here. But oh, because it puts the king in check, so you basically take the queen. But yeah, just making your queen in general and then moving maybe up like one right here would be a lot better for him or something like that. This game is a lot though, man. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Instead, Power moved the horse. Horse gets taken. We got mate. It did say mate in 8, by the way, or mate in 9. I thought it said not 8 at one point. But like this is obviously a good move you could do to get the horse. They're saying the one thing you want to do is this, which it's defended. You can't go here. You can't go here. You're only forced to go here. And then I believe mate in 2 is G7 check, which you can't go here. You have to go here, and then you just make your queen, and then this game is over. But let's progress into the actual game itself. Crusher took the knight. Potter made a bishop. Okay, that must have been a misclick or something. Even if he made a queen, it was going to be taken by the rook anyways. F8. Check right there by Crusher. And now he has mate in 2. He has mate in 1 if he can find it. Crusher, Pyre can't really do anything to stop it. So how do you get mate in 1? You put it in right there. You put the rook in to h8 and win. I believe you could have also did this as well. Oh no, the queen would have stopped it. Okay, so yeah, he had mate in 1 with that move right there, just pushing the rook up into f8 to win the game. And right there, Crusher wins the first game, 1-0 Crusher here in this series. Let's go game 2. So now we switch positions here. We have Potter as the white pieces, Crusher as the black. We start off with h4. Crusher goes with more of a variation here. I believe this is the... Well, this is the f-pawn. F-pawns are very scary to actually move because, I mean... If you don't know what you're doing, for example, let's just say if you do this first to start, and then, like, let's just say Potter went, like, here, and then he went, like, here. This is obviously checkmate. So you gotta be careful of that if you're actually gonna move, like, this pawn up. But luckily he moved it up twice, and not just once. We got c4 by Potter. We got a pawn e5 here by Crusher. Potter goes a4. He's trying to move his pawns all the way up. Crusher pushes the bishop in. To defend this, I might be saying go maybe here. You have to defend this, though. This is the main problem. I got a message, guys. Hold up. Okay. Anyways, Crusher moves the pawn up 1. Potter moves the rook up. We get a rook getting switched over to the c file here early in the game. Crusher just going in for the kill here. He's going for this pawn. He wants Potter to move this out of the way and get an easy checkmate. He get this out of the way and get this queen out of the way. Potter moves the pawn up. Castle. h3 for the knight by Potter. Queen h4. Potter puts the rook inside. Crusher moves the pawn up to f4. Take by Potter, and here's a mate in 1 for Mr. Crusher, because if he can move his queen in, that's checkmate, and there's nothing else that Potter can really do about it. Instead, he takes the pawn with the rook. Potter moves 1 up. I mean, this game is pretty much over. There's not really too much you can actually do to stop this, I don't believe, in my opinion. How would you stop this? What does the engine say? You move g3 to stop this and do a fork here. That actually helps out you a lot here if you're white. But Crusher left it like hanging for once. He should have just did it right here when he had the chance to. But instead he puts in the rook down. But Potter doesn't really see it. And Crusher wins game 2 with 11 moves. Not much I can really say. I mean, the first game I really analyzed like the position that Potter was in with moving the H pawns, and right here's an example of just how it can like screw you over in the end. You don't really get development out. You don't really defend like your pawns well and structure well to where you're basically all your pieces are stuck in the back rank, like I've said before, and you just get checkmated easily, and that's what happens. So, like, if you want to be like honest here, moving the pawns forward in front of your king is actually a good idea, and then like getting your pieces out first and making your whole pieces all around just being out on the board is a lot better than keeping him in the back rank just for this reason alone. Now you still gotta watch out for stuff like this because it's still scary. I mean, even if you got like this piece gone, this piece gone, this piece not here, this still is a threat if someone gets a chance to hit it on you. And this could be known as a scholar mate, which real quickly we'll go through a scholar mate real quick. Usually scholar mates are from white, but scholar mate is usually something like, can I move? Can I move? Hmm. Well, you know what? We're just gonna pretend like that move didn't happen. But usually scholar mate is something like this. You go in right here. Let's just say person doesn't see it. You go in right here. That's a check. How do you get out of this? Well, of course you can't do it. You can't do it because that pawn's in the way. I wish the game would let me just move my pawn up one and just analyze it. Can I like review and maybe get it? Like, come on. Well, I want this. This goes up here. This goes here. This goes here. Like, let's just say you do something like this. This goes out over here. Like, let's just say you do the knight and then you move in with the queen right here, and that's scholar mate. Okay, since I can't show it apparently. But yeah, that just bad game by Potter right there. A lot better in game one. He almost actually won that game in game one. This game is just he had no chance here. Let's get to game three here. We start off with Crusher doing e4, e5. Now this is a lot better for Crusher for Potter here. He can get the bishop out. He can get the queen out early if he has to. He can get like all these pieces out. Let's see how he actually takes advantage of this. c4 by Crusher. Okay, c6 is alright. I mean, you're kind of blocking your knight from going here. I'm not really a fan of it. If you want to move like a pawn or something, I would actually move this here just to attack this pawn that is free right now. And Crusher has to force to defend it by either going here or here. And I don't think he really wants to put the knight here. That is more of a, I believe that's a Will version of a, well, that's more of a the Sicilian defense, but only as white. I don't think there's actually something that's known for that. But let's progress. D3. So, okay. What this does is this is more of a stone wall. What a stone wall does, and this is actually they say this as a Carocon defense, accelerated Pano, but what Crusher's doing here is putting the white squared pawns down. Stonewall you usually do with the black squares, do it from the queen side, but if you put a pawn right here on this side, what that does really is that blocks off the white square bishop from doing actual damage to your structure, and they have to actually go through this whole pawn brigade to really get out. And it's a good opening usually for if you do it correctly the right way. However, this is a different way, and I believe this is going to be the Kurokon defense if Potter does one move right, and that is move d5, move this pawn to d5. D6, okay, so the Kurokon's like this. And now you get like an option to where you have to either take or go or like leave it there usually. This pawn's usually not in the way, but like this is more of a, let's just say, accelerated pan-off open inversion. Okay, but you went d6. Crusher moves up the pawn from h3, h5 by Potter. I don't mind this move actually by Potter here because at the same time, like, you know, he did move the d pawn first. It's not like Potter did it as his first move. f3 by Crusher. f6 by Potter. This is a lot better by Potter in this game compared to before. Now, this d3 pawn is just blocking in case his bishop wants to go here and, like, trap the horse to his queen. That's why Crusher really did that earlier, just to make sure it doesn't happen early. I mean, let's just be honest. If he didn't do this and he just went with this early, this is what his mindset would have been, and then he'd have to move this here anyways. Um, but honestly, you can still not get out there. You can just go here and then maybe like force it out like that way, which I don't think Crusher wanted to break up his whole defense like that. That's why he did the H3 early. Potter puts the horse out. Okay. I want to see more development from Potter here. I mean, he has a chance to get some of his pieces out here, like the white square bishop. He can get out right here. I mean, he can even put the white square bishop right here. You can get the queen out right here, over here. Like, well, not right there, but like over here. You can get the horse out over here or here. Like, you have a lot of stuff to really develop here. I mean, you can even move this pawn down and get this dark square bishop over to this spot. I know it might be guarded by like this, but you gotta think that Crusher might not take it because of the rook defending it. G4 by Crusher. Now, what they want you to do is actually take it, which is actually dangerous because, yeah, you're opening up everything. That's what I gotta say. Potter takes it with the horse instead. He didn't do en passant, which is the I don't know if Potter knows this, but when a pawn like moves up 2 like this, you can actually en passant it and take it like that way instead. But anyways, we progress. Potter takes the pawn. Crusher takes it as well, and this is where I was scared of because this pawn right here, you kind of want to march that down. Because here's the thing, if you get taken right here, I mean, you can still take this back. Now, I'm just doing it quickly because I know the things right here, but you want to move this like maybe a dark square bishop, but like if that pawn gets taken by the rook, you can easily take it back with your rook. Potter takes the pawn with the bishop. Potter pushes the bishop in 1. Crusher has full advantage here. He pushes the pawn up 1. A6 by Potter. F5. I guess. Oh, that's why. That is what he left open for. That's dangerous because here's the thing: you get that, you're getting your queen, and then plus, if you don't want to if you don't pay attention to it, you're also going to lose your bishop too. Much better position for Potter if he actually can see it. However, he takes the bishop instead, and right there, Crusher takes advantage, takes the rook, and he goes in and takes the queen. So just like Potter could have done to him, Crusher does it to Potter. Here's my one advice to you guys that are just trying to learn chess and wanting to actually play better and whatnot. Don't get tunnel vision. And what I mean by that is that if this move goes and moves right here, don't just like see it and just be like, oh my god, he's attacking my bishop. Oh my god, I gotta take it. Instead, just relax, chill out, look around the board, because there's also a better attack here that he just left open. Like, what is this bishop defending that he left? If you can find out what he was defending, and you can see it being wide open for the taking, you gotta take it. That's my advice for you, is that don't freak out when someone actually goes in for the attack and be like, oh, well, that's a dumb move. He kind of left his bishop to be traded. But in reality, the bishop was already tradable anyway to begin with, from staying in the spot. You didn't have to go there. I mean, he moved his pawn up. You could have taken the bishop earlier and traded it. And I mean, he couldn't really take your bishop or he would have lost his rook too. But always like keep a mind out of what is getting defended and what is getting guarded when you actually see stuff like that. Anyways, we're back here. Queen gets taken. Rook gets taken. Pawn takes on f5. Horse moves out. Queen moves out. Queen going in for the kill now. Move up. If you're going to do this, just push up. I mean, even if you just push up 1, it doesn't really help you here because the queen's not really in danger of anything. And plus, you're already in a bad situation anyways. I don't know. Does pushing up actually make your thing go higher or lower? It kind of stays the same. So, it doesn't really matter which way you do. Because I do see the move where if you do take, go up, he can go into this spot here and just attack your king like that. But we'll progress through the game. Queen takes, rook wide open. Potter doesn't see it. Crusher doesn't see the rook being taken. Potter goes in for a check. That's not a bad move. The computer actually wants you to defend with d2. Because here's the thing: if you take, it's just a trade. If you're Potter, you don't want to trade pieces right now. You're losing. But okay, e2. Back to f7. That queen still has a line on the rook. Pushes up, going after the bishop. They trade down. Still mating 14. Okay. So right here, he just moves back. He didn't want to take the free pawn right there, which is cool. Okay. Potter, bad spot here. He moves his rook 1. Now, they're saying that he lost his mate and 8 chance because he should have just went in and took the rook with a check. But instead, Potter moves in. Now we got mate and 4. Mate and 3. Potter takes the knight. There's mate and 2 now. Does Crusher see the right move? He does. We got mate and 1. Potter's only real move was to go here, and just like that, that's mate and 1 Crusher. No, the pawn moving up does not help you at all. It just makes it where you're taking one more like move here. You get move here. Again, you can still do mate and 1 though because you can actually do this and you win. However, you could have finished the game off earlier. But hey, you won the game, whatever. So with this game, Crusher actually wins 9 points from beating Potter 3-0 in the series here. We got 2 people that actually went 9 with 9 points in week 1, and that was Crusher and Ace, who are the front runners in the bracket. Now, bracket A, we already went through. We already seen the games with Ace, Jake, Meyer, Shu, and Bea. This is bracket B right here, and we got one more game for bracket B, which is Jeff K, by the way, versus Linty. And that game will be coming up soon enough. But thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with that game when we get a chance to talk about it. So yeah, take care, guys.